Hi, I'm Brian.
I'm Culp from the Arizona Cardinals.
All right, thank you guys for joining us on another episode of Stretching the Field podcast. Hey, appreciate you coming on, man, and talking to us. The first question I got to ask you is, how has your journey been getting to the NFL?
Like they say, man, it may be cliche, but everybody's journey different, and mine is the definition of different. Went to 4 different schools, which is not ideal, but for my journey was ideal. Just trying to reach the top, and I always played the highest level, and that's what I was. That's where I'm at now, the highest level. And it took a lot of adversity. It took me sitting out, having a gap year, 23, to be able to get to where I'm at. And it took a lot of coaching changes, a lot of defensive changes. It took a lot of, me having to tap in with God, a whole lot of things for me to get to the point where I'm at. It definitely wasn't easy.
Through that journey, I know, like, you had to take a gap year, which is a year off of football, where you can't be around no team, can't be around nobody. You had to really grind yourself. You had to figure out your own training. Was it weight room? Was it on the field? What kept you motivated through that year?
I would say, man, just always wanting this for myself. Always, I never really gave up on anything in my life, so it just didn't feel right to give up. I was still a part of a team, but I wasn't like, I couldn't really do much besides practice. So I would take that time to the times I wasn't traveling on games. I would go and work with grind. I'll go, do my own thing in the weight room. I'll just stay consistently active because I knew my time was coming back up, and I knew that if I persevered through those times, that I would have a chance, and my chance is here now to execute on.
Right. Throughout your whole journey, you always had a great work ethic, and you always, we always stuck to what you believe in, and you stuck to what you know. Who put that in you? Who put that in you? Who was the person that really like honed into your your mind and how you operate and how you move?
It's crazy you asked that, because today I was talking to my mom about that today, actually, because I always pray for discipline, but I think I have the discipline. I think it's an impulse thing for me, as far as some of the actions that I have made in the past. But I feel like, I think that's just a gift that God blessed me with, just to never give up and have that work ethic and that drive, because I always was an underdog as well. Just from even starting Little League, it was a lot of stuff going on in Little League that I never even really spoke on. But up until this time right now, like, I was an underdog. So it's like, I think just being, cultivated into that underdog mentality, it just was like, nah, I'm not giving up. Nah, I'm proving you wrong. Nah, I'm proving myself right. It was just always that dog mentality on a whole different level.
Yeah, and I always see that in you. I always see that underdog in you. I was an underdog myself, so that's why we relate to each other so much, and we click together so much. That chip on your shoulder, you always operate like that, and you always been like that ever since I met you. I met you one day in the gym. We met each other in the gym, and we just been together ever since. And it's crazy because that was your senior in high school,
Yeah.
and now to see that you in the NFL now, just an amazing thing. I always want to just check in on you. How are you mentally on a scale of 1 to 10? How are you mentally?
So now I'm great now, because like 3 days ago I wouldn't say that, but you would never know with me, because I wear something called a mask. Like, everybody, I feel like a lot of people, we wear masks and we don't really like, reveal what's really going on, especially men. Like, we just want to take everything on the chin, and we want to like push through a lot of things, but like, we do need help. Like, no matter how, how bad we can go through life, we think we can go through life without somebody else, we really can't. Like, we need a helping hand at one point in our life to get us to where we're going. And I would say, like, 3 days ago, man, to keep me staying in the league right now, where I'm at right now, I had to do a lot of thinking 3 days ago, and shifting in my mind, and a lot of actions, a lot of habits that I had to change. It's gonna be a battle. It's gonna be consistent, but it's nothing I can't handle. I've always been through battles and things that I always had to overcome with adversity. So it's just something I'm looking forward to on the other end of the spectrum, to see how that looks.
Yeah, understand it's a marathon at the end of the day. You got to take, it ain't a sprint. You got to take your time and understand that every day is not going to be the same day. You got to take your time and take those bad days and good days, and just always come in as the same Elijah Culp every day. Come in with your head high, controlling what you can control, and just let everything else fall into God's hands. God will take care of it. Don't think too far ahead, because that's when you get the worry, and that's when you get the anxiety. Just think one day at a time. One day at a time. You here for a reason. You here for a reason, and God got you in everything that you do. So just continue to push on. Don't look too far ahead, and just continue to push on and be where your feet are. You know, and if it's one thing you could tell somebody that's in your shoes that's coming up just like you came up, what would you tell them?
Man, don't get like really. It really sounds cliche, but it really is the truth. Like if you give up, you already failed. Like so, I would say, man, like my favorite verse is actually Acts 5:39. Whatever God has for you, nothing can stop it. So and that's the truth. Like you know, I done been through so many testimonies, man. I got so many testimonies through all the battles and adversity that I've been through. That like yeah, sometimes we may question God, but it's like, bro, he is the truth. It's like he's laying it out there like for us. Like it's proof in the pudding. Like so, it's crazy to keep questioning the faith. You might as well just keep having faith without that doubt. But I would say besides that, man, I would just say, man, work ethic. Your work ethic, cause faith without work is nothing. So you can have as much faith as you can in the world, but if you're not working towards being better, then it's not going to align the same. So faith and work is going to get you to where you need to be.
Yeah, you're right about that. If anyone's struggling with mental health, if they got any mental health battles, how do you could you give them any pointers of how you get through those mental health battles, those ups and downs?
I would say it just depends on what type of you're going through. But for me, I always revert back to God because that's the only thing that really truly brings me peace. I can go and have these conversations with different people, but you can go to 10. Just say you talk to 10 different people, you gonna get 10 different advice, and it may just confuse you. So I revert back to God honestly. Like I try to get advice, but sometimes it just like it confuses me. So I just kind of what's worked for me, what makes me happy, and what doesn't make me happy, what makes me like what's the word like just don't put me in the right mindset that I just know I have to cut out like I said, the bad habits. Like it's just a lot of bad habits that we may not have that outside of sports that may carry over into the sports world that you may not notice until it's too late. So and that's what I would say the biggest thing is, bro. God is my biggest, like that's my biggest savior. So I would say God for sure, like tap into him. But other than that, I would just say like just continue to just better yourself. Like whatever that looks like, whatever challenges you have, bro, just if you don't give up and you keep going, like you won't fail. Like something's gonna happen like at the end of it. Like something's positive is gonna happen. If you just keep being positive, having a positive attitude and being at peace with what you and being content with what you have, then you'll be okay.
I appreciate you. Thank you. I wanted to tell you personally, man, I'm proud of who you are and how far you come. You know, I know you still got more great things to do. Man, just take it one day at a time and understand. Don't ever change who you are. Just correct yourself and get better at the small things you need to get better in. And I just want to appreciate you for taking me on this journey with you. And, always thinking of me and your journey, and I can't wait to see what's next for you. You know, whether it's football or outside of football, because I know you're gonna do some great things, and you're gonna be a leader in this world. But just thank you for sitting down with me and having a great conversation. And I just can't wait to see you fulfill your dreams and really turn a lot of underdogs that's behind you. You're going to lead the way for those guys and show them what it's like to never give up and keep battling through everything that you do. So I appreciate you, my boy.
I appreciate you too. Thanks.